Say they think he is deliberately trying to get the death penalty and they want out. This is NBC News Radio.
Hey, yeah.
President Obama visited Camp Pendleton, California today, telling Marines that the threats of terror will not cause the U.S. to withdraw from the world.
Our Twisted
he also gave a
Beyond
shout out to
Reason
embassy
show,
personnel
Beyond
overseas.
Twisted show.
I want to take special time out to salute all our brave diplomats and tireless intelligence and military personnel who've been working around the clock to safeguard our embassies and our consulates and our fellow Americans serving overseas, including all those vigilant Marines standing guard at our embassies around the world. They're doing an outstanding job.
Miami Beach police say an 18-year-old has died after being shocked with a stun gun as he resisted arrest for spraying graffiti on an abandoned building.
Wow.
Police say the teen ran from officers but was eventually cornered. A day after his 5-year-old son nearly drowned in a pool, Grammy-winning singer Usher is being taken to court by his ex-wife. A lawyer for Tamika Foster Raymond has been granted an emergency hearing to determine custody of the couple's 2 children. I'm Greg Johnson, NBC News Radio.
Wow, does that pale with us right there? I'd like to give a moment of silence of 2 seconds just for that story. Moment of silence of 2 seconds. Okay, we're back.
Yeah, I read that yesterday.
You did.
That they had, I don't know what exactly happened, but that they had found him in the pool, and I was afraid then that it was not good news. But of course, at that time, he had not died.
All these babies either being kidnapped or dying in unusual, twisted ways.
Well, you know, it happens every year.
It does. I mean, I'm extraordinarily amazed and shocked by all this. This is Beyond Twisted. Frank, Judy, and Lori here. It's Frankie B on the blowtorch of South America. WTAN 1340 on the AM dial. Our website, of course, frankthemouth.com. And you're hearing and watching us on 10talk1340.com. Oh, they got me today.
Where's Lori?
Where's Lori?
I'm here.
Hi.
Give me your.
Hi,
Give
I'm
me your.
waiting for you guys.
Give me your perfume.
How are you?
Give me your perfume. Hand it to me, baby. Come on, Lori. Hand me your perfume. Come on.
He steals the stuff.
I'm waiting, Lori. Touch me, baby.
Oh.
You're too funny.
Thanks. Yes, I got tattooed today, Lori and Judy. I've been used and abused by the fraudsters of America. Cedric will be happy to know this. I got used in a fraud case. My name, I'm set up. I go 33 years in responsible driving all over the place and not getting hit by fraud and telling people how to avoid all this, and I got tattooed myself. It's beyond believability. The place is called Sun City Center LASIK and Cataract. I used Judy as an eyewitness to this, Cedric. This is how bad this is. This lovely woman right here who I've known for 13 years, Lori, you know I've known her for 13 years.
Right.
I used Judy up front in the front desk of this place, and we made sure all the conversations were correct, that I was getting an absolute freebie, all free, nothing charged at all in front of me, going in for a LASIK consultation. Totally free. I had the coupon. They made calls to the Brandon office. Everybody was completely set up in front of this woman, too. And now they're using my name in a fraud case to go to my insurance company to collect $2,000 to $3,000 and $50 off of my butt on the co-payment. Ah! Ah!
Well, maybe you better explain what happened.
Well,
other than you were supposed to get a free consultation.
Right.
Right.
Well,
and what happened?
Well, it turned into a paid consultation. I was fitted. I was told I'm a qualified candidate for LASIK surgery. Now they're saying the doctor never said it in the room. There's no notes that say that. She did say it to me, and it was supposed to be totally free. So what they're doing is they're saying because I'm not a qualified candidate, which I was told I was, they're now reporting to the insurance company that they want a full $2,000 for me being in that room, and they're trying to bill me for the co-payment.
For the consultation, $2,000?
Oh, yeah. It may even go to $4,000 to my insurance company. Is this Cedric, is this unbelievable?
It's beyond unbelievable.
They used me. I'm supposed to be able to avoid this through psychic ability. Lori, what's going on here?
You know, it's funny because I actually just went to the eye doctor for the same thing.
You did?
And each one seems to have a different deal. One place told me totally free, and I didn't end up going, but I do know it was totally free if I had gone there. And then I actually booked at a second place closer here near USF, and they did. I knew in advance, though. They told me it was not free. I think it was. I have a $40 copay, and they didn't, as far as I know, bill the insurance anything. But if they're telling you that it's free and you have a coupon that's free, and it's from a doctor, I know that they have to have some type of fine print in there that says, you have the right to have this for free. So if they're not doing it and there's some type of scam, I know you, Frank. You can call the American Medical Association. Mm-hmm. You can raise a stink here. You can call the Attorney General's office.
That's exactly what I'm going to do starting tomorrow too.
Yeah, because I did go with him to double, triple, quadruple check to make sure
she was right
that
there.
The coupon was good and they were going to honor it. I was there and I heard him on the phone with the other center in Brandon, and that it was all straightened out. And the woman at the desk actually signed something saying that it was going to be no charge.
She signed the back of her business card, gave it to us, and was reconfirming it to us. And they were setting me up at the same time, in front of her, too, which amazes me that anybody uses this incredibly wonderful person to set up Frankie here on fraud charges. And they're going to try to get me to pay this thing. Okay, so your opinion, audience, 727-441-3000 in the studio. Also for you, 1-866-FREAKS, 1-866-826-1340. If you got the same kind of thing that's happening in your life, we want to know what's going on inside your life as to do with all this. Yes, and we're here again, girls. Splash it to me, girls. Thank you very much. This is not a porno flick. You guys are into that too much, and so am I, but that's a different story altogether. Yes, so part of us being here today is we're getting tons of phone calls and tons of emails off the air, but we're getting no phone calls here in the studio. So we want you, our studio audience, to call up and tell us why you're not calling in during the show, and tell us why you think our lovely, friendly studio audiences out there are not calling up too. So we got to hear from you guys on this as to why you think you're not calling up and why everybody else is not calling up here on the Frankie V Radio Show. And, of course, the story that's making too much headlines for us, too. The Bloomberg thing is exploding again in New York City. And the Bloomberg thing is where, essentially, he's taking what is called safety medical procedures or medical safety security issues, like something for your health where you buy a soft drink. And he's saying now that procedures like this or products like this are something that are laden too much with sugar and preservatives and everything. And all the far centrist right-wing communicators, hosts, and everybody around the country is saying, you're being too much of an Ayatollah Khomeini, and you're telling us what to do, and you can't do that, and you're leading the wrong way, so you're a crazy, insane liberal.
I
guess in a way you could say that.
Yeah, Lori, what's your take on this? Because I got plenty of take on this.
It's funny. I'm from that area, as are you. I remember something about they banned, 16-ounce sodas?
Yes.
Yeah, and I thought to myself, that's a little crazy. Why don't they spend more of their time and money doing something that would actually help the community? Because if they're not drinking them out in public, what do you think they're going to be doing at home?
Okay, here's my take on this. I have been an advocate for a better part of 28 to 33 years of looking at all these extra preservative, poison, sugars, and everything in these soft drinks. There certainly are a sustainable amount of these ingredients or apparatuses in these products, and they're making us all sick. But here's my deal. This guy's taken a heck of a long time to get to saying this, and so are the other so-called liberal people. I mean, I'll call myself a liberal on this, too. I've been saying this 15, 20 years ago. This was going to happen to all of us in these sodas, and now he's coming forth and saying it now that became mayor. You are late, brother, And it begins to make me wonder why you are so late. Is it politics? Is it your ego? You didn't want to splash this to us before you became mayor? Is there some other kind of power thing going on with the New World Order that they got to talk about this right now when they're so late on this? It's driving me nuts.
Well, I have a question. I mean, let's just say that you can't buy a large or an extra large anymore, if that were true. Mm-hmm. What's to keep you from buying, getting like 6 refills of a smaller one?
That's a good question. Hey, Lori, what's your take on that, sweetheart? Come on in with a cigar.
Absolutely nothing, because I'd be one of those people going in for the 6 refills.
Fix my car, girl.
If you're gonna ban something, why not ban coffee? But you know why? Because everybody would go nuts.
Well,
I don't drink coffee. I drink soda.
Okay, now you do realize inside of coffee, it's a medical fact right now that there's a special agent that actually retards the onset of Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. You do know that, right?
I did not know that. In coffee?
Yeah, now you know that, and it's true. It's not a liberal fact. It's not a conservative fact. It's a medical fact. But in coffee, of course, there is a sustainable amount of acid that could just ruin your life. Now, people, you're listening to this. How are you dealing with this in your life to do with soda and the liberal or the conservative leaders around you? What do you think? They've gone too far? They're too late? They're too conservative? They're too whipping of the lash of the leadership? They're too Ayatollah Khomeini? Do you think it's moderate? What do you think? In the studio right now, 727-441-3000, 1-866-826-1340, and on the text cell phone, 609-209-0194. Besides having your opinion on that, tell us why your audience-friendly people are not calling in to the show, but calling off the air, and why you're not calling in, too. So this soda thing is just amazing to me.
Well, I have a problem with being told by some mayor of a city what I can eat and drink.
When are you okay with him telling you this?
I'm okay with him educating me.
How do you
or
want
making
him?
Telling me it's unhealthy and how it's going to hurt my body, all that kind of thing. You can't bang somebody in the head and make them drink milk instead of soda.
When do you want him to tell you this? When? In regard to his tenure or getting there before that, as a spokesperson who's got money accessible to the media?
Well, it should have been done a long time ago. But there again, we were talking the other day about cigarettes. The big campaign several years ago, and where is it today?
Right.
The smoking, problem has gone up again.
Yes.
Females so how long do people listen that they're going to get cancer and things like that? Just telling somebody is not going to change anything, I don't think, unless people are educated and believe what they're being told. There's not too much you can do.
Lori, when do you want to be told and when don't you want to be told?
If it's something health-wise, I think education is the key, but ultimately every person's going to make their own decision. If it's something that's illegal, of course, then it's illegal. If it's something health-wise, but you could have a whole conversation on health and all the poisons that are in all of the food and all the things that we drink. And if you go back, when Judy was just talking about the smoking, there used to be commercials on TV advertising cigarettes, and now, of course, those are banned. So, and the statistics are showing that more and more people are smoking, probably because there's more and more stress. But back then, the cigarette companies, claimed that it wasn't harmful,
right.
But it was. It's like cell phones. I worked years ago for a wireless company I won't name, and we were all told that it doesn't cause brain cancer, and then of course later on it came out that it could.
Right. I mean, these X-rays and MRIs, the cancer is growing inside and in the same geographical direction of where this cell phone tower off of the phone is happening. Lori, when do you want to be told and not told that something is about to happen to you, to somebody to lead you into knowing that there's poison in your system? When do you want to be told?
Well, I that's such a hard question. If you're talking about the soda situation. I kind of think that's ridiculous. That would be my word for it. Most people already know. I think kids in school are taught, about healthy diets, but a lot of that also starts at home. So, that's something that should start young, maybe in the school system where they teach you about diet. But that's not something that's normally taught in elementary school.
Correct. I mean, you take the organic foods that are on the shelves right now. I want to be told beforehand that Splenda should not have been in organic products at all because it's a poison, but it's sweetened poison, and it just doesn't belong in there. So I want to be told by some leader somewhere that I know this is happening. Maybe, Frank, you don't know this by now. Bring it to me when you know. That's how I am. It's 16 minutes past the hour, 11 o'clock, and our wonderful people who throw around this sponsorship to this lovely program, Buzzy's Essentials, and he's got the soap that does it to your bod, outside your bod, inside your bod. And this stuff smells good. And this guy, he looks at you in the eyes and says, "You want my soap, don't you?" Yes, you crazy little seductive guy. Buzzy's Essentials at BUZZYSESSENTIALS at MSN.com. And the only person in the world who's telling the truth about credit consultation, Lori Zook at gmail.com. That's LAURIEZOOCK at gmail.com. She's the only person who's not a criminal in this whole field. And, of course, Frank Metal, which will take care of, that's Frank Metal Fabrication. That'll take care of all your homes and all your homes that you're stealing off the market and that are fake numbers out there. Well, they'll put the metal inside your home and outside your home, too, and they'll work with your syndicator or whoever they are as a designer. Go to Frank Famous Media at yahoo.com and talk to them about what your home looks like, what your budget is, and about the metal inside your home.
And also, if you want to see us on a past show, see what we've been doing and what we've been talking about, go to youtube.com/WTAN video.
Yes, and Cedric is the master of all masters of getting those videos up on there. You're a genius, sir. Say thank you.
Well, thank you.
You are welcome.
And I'm still trying to beat up the webmaster on the podcast page. Not the webmaster, but the IT guy.
Really?
I'm working on.
Is that Rush Limbaugh's wife?
Maybe.
Okay. I noticed that something's not rolling correctly on that, too. This whole thing. Now, see, Giuliani, Rudy, up there in New York, who's the biggest phony liberal of all time, masquerading as a conservative. He raised taxes. He raised fees. He said he wasn't. He dates 600 women while he's married. I don't know how you do that, even if your wife says it's okay. He's a liberal. He got this guy, Bloomberg, back into office, and now everybody's forgotten the fact that Rudy, who was the in-disguise liberal, put this guy in office, and now they're all calling Bloomberg the liberal from hell because he's talking about all the products out there. And I think it's just crazy insanity how all the conservatives are saying this guy's so whacked out liberal when they got the so-called conservative pushing him into office to talk to you about soda. How does this untwist? Would you please tell me?
Well, I think he is misunderstood.
Who? Who's misunderstood?
Bloomberg, really.
Oh, you think he is?
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me how he's misunderstood. I'd like to hear this. In fact, I'll text you. I'll ask you. How is this misunderstood? Go ahead. Tell me.
No, I think...
Make this good, because I'm going to kill you if you don't make this good.
Yeah, they got more than they bargained for. Everybody thought because he was a very, very successful, rich businessman,
yes,
that he would run the city just like a corporation, and get things done.
Right?
And get things done. That did not happen, evidently.
Yeah, not even close. I mean, they're $305 billion in the red in the 5 boroughs of New York and upstate New York, too. $305 billion. Doesn't that say to you that they're doing everything wrong and maybe a little bit right here and there? What does it say to you?
Yeah, it says to me, I feel like I'm watching the country state by state go bankrupt.
Yes.
We just keep, making up more money and not really dealing with any of the issues. And, of course, my opinion is we should wipe out the government as we know it now and change it. you have all. I actually hate politics. I hated it when I didn't understand it. Now I hate it more that I do understand it. And that's the truth, because you have all of these rich politicians, mostly lawyers, in office, who ultimately are pressured by special interests, and they're not actually doing what the people want. They're supposed to serve the people. The people are not supposed to serve them. And and it seems to me, and my family's in New York, and I have friends all over, and everyone says to me, it seems like the world has just gone totally crazy. Everybody's stressed out, everybody's working, but everybody's gone crazy. There's more and more crazy people doing crazier things, and a lot of them are in public office or, in government office, and what can we do about it?
I know, at this point, really, what can you do about it? I mean, you said something fantastic the other day, that you normally you can't fix, you can't change anybody. You can't even come close to influencing any of these people, because it's so far gone in their head and the way they operate on a day-to-day business level.
Oh, it would take many, many more people to make a change.
Right.
It'd have to be an uprising.
Well, exactly, and it's a power trip for some people that are in office. I mean, I'm a business person, and when people pay me to do a job, I expect that I'm going to do that job. But nowadays, it seems like more and more people really don't want to work, or when they work a job, I don't know how these people are on social media all day. And how do you work at a company and you're on Facebook all day or on Twitter all day? And I don't know. People seem to have lost their work ethic and their motivation, and they want a lot of money to do very little.
Exactly.
And that's not the old school way.
No, it's not. Your opinion, telephone number here in the studio. Yeah, 727-441-3000, also 1-866-826-1340. Text us at 609-209-0194. Looking at the cell phone right now to see if there's any text coming. Okay, this is, again, people, we want your opinion on this liberal or conservative move to do with leadership in this direction of taking your sodas apart, telling you when it's poison, when it's not poison. We also want to know from you why your friends are not calling up during the show, and we want to know why you're not calling up during this show, too. Maybe there's some kind of a phobia here going on, or maybe you think you're actually in the studio here, and you're really right here. That's why you're not calling up. You never know. David Lynch is in your life right there, the whole bit. And, yes, she's pointing at, what are you, yes, you're
no, we don't know.
Hold my hand or something?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
We don't only want your opinion, we want to know what kind of issues that you have.
Oh, yeah.
If you've been the victim of a scam or fraud, or you have a problem with your utility company, or anybody who is not being fair, or something is up, the antennas go up, that you think is not kosher, then give us a call and we'll see if we can work it through, or at least give you some advice where to go. Laurie's very good at that.
She's fantastic at it.
Give us a call.
Yes. And the California people out there on the West Coast who are listening to us on the web right now, we know you are. We got your IP addresses. Yes, on the West Coast, you people put in a so-called conservative centrist in there by the name of Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was not supposed to raise one fee, one tax, do anything with the union fees, nothing, and he was supposed to serve the state and close it all up and make you all more conservative thinking. He was the worst governor in the history of this world. He left that state, it was $580 billion in the red. Now it's 620 because the next guy just added in a little bit, Mr. Brown.
That's what he was supposed to fix it.
He was supposed to do a whole bunch of things. This guy was so funny, was scary. And then he's helping the maid clean the rooms there. A little bit too much cleaning product going on. But it was stupid. And I said, look at the same thing. He was pushing this agenda to do with what these people were eating and drinking. Okay, you're late. Where were you before you became governor out there when you should have been leading, according to me? He ended up 3 years into his mayorship out there saying, we got the worst drivers here, and they're all Asians. Oh, really? Well, first of all, that might be too much of a biased opinion. Number two, call me up, Asian people. I'd love to speak to you right now about him saying that. And number two, even if it's true, where were you 13 to 25 to 30 years before that. Now he's coming out with a statement like that as he was governor. Now he leaves the governorship. He might as well be talking about the sodas in your refrigerator and just making more nonsense than possibility.
Well, what do you think of Jerry Brown? Do you think that it was just too far gone for him to even begin to fix it?
Well,
they've gone down further even since he's been there.
Well, yeah,
right?
I got that formula, Lori. I got that formula. If you take the population and you divide it into the trillions or billions of many dollars that are in debt, private or government, and if you do the math and you figure, well, it's so many per family and so many per individual, and then it seems like it's too overwhelming that you can't retreat or pay it off in a lifetime,
right?
Then you're messed up for the rest of your life. Am I wrong by having this formula or what?
No, but California's always been their own planet. I think they have their own laws that the rest of the other 49 states don't have.
Right, and it's just come full circle at this point. That's why I tell all the special economists, and I'm an economist myself, you got to wipe it out, start all over with a flat tax, but nobody wants to do it because it's too much emotional, financial upheaval. But what do you got going now? I mean, this is upheaval, and we're all in our graves right now for the rest of our life. Cedric, your life is messed up and screwed. It's over with.
That's what I've been told.
That's right. It's just like us. You're in trouble, so are we, and everybody else around us, too. In fact, 4 out of 5 Americans are now in deep, serious poverty. There's only 1 out of every 5 who are not. I don't know who these people are, but they should show up somewhere and talk to us about getting us the hell out of this, and really quick. This is Tan Radio, 1340.com. The wonderful Lori is with us co-hosting here, Judy and me, and it's all about what these leaders are doing to you right now. How do you feel? Are they overmanaging it at this point? Are they way too late? Are you so? I mean, you got to admit, people. I mean, take a look at the ingredients. What is it, Judy? If you have more than 11 ingredients in your soda, you're being destroyed or something. What was the number?
I don't think it's that many.
How many? What was the number? You told me.
Somebody told me if you have more than 5 to 7 ingredients, put it back on the shelf.
Put it back because there's no
anything,
way. And they're just overloading with preservatives and transmission fluids and everything.
Flavorings, colorings, all kinds of things.
Lori, what have you heard? How many ingredients are possibly within the scope of what the human body and God designed it for, and how many numbers of ingredients when you're just being poisoned?
Oh my gosh, I have no idea, but I do try to look at the labels, on packaged goods to see. But then it comes down to you have to trust what the FDA is saying, and that's a whole nother issue.
Right, now, because we look at that magnesium stearate, right? Mm-hmm. That's not supposed to be in anything. That's a binder to use to put your mother-in-law next to her closet. That's it.
What it does is it slows down the absorption.
Yeah, and it slows down the product too, and then it binds with the.
But Frank, why do you? I mean, in part, do you think that people are going crazy because the food they're eating is containing poison, and over the years, we do genetics to food and change food, and most people don't eat organic food, and do you think that leads to everybody kind of just going nuts because what they're eating is bad for them?
Yeah, I mean, look at the rate of autism in children now. I'm totally convinced.
Increased.
Yeah, it's increased. It's
dramatically.
Dramatically is correct. I'm totally convinced that social engineering has put agents of ill will inside the body of these kids. It's attacked the white cells, the blood cells, and nothing is being repaired.
Well, children are getting a lot more things that adults used to, you didn't get until you were like 50 years old.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Showing up to
arthritis.
Arthritis at what? What age? So
like 8, 5 years old.
5 years old. That's crazy. It's 29 minutes past the hour, 11 o'clock. The Blowtorch is your way right now. WTAN 1340. Up and down the coast, baby. We go in places that you want us to go. Yeah. It's Frankie B. It's Lori. It's Judy here. And the Essential Man, Buzzy's Essential, the soap that will save the world. And he has me wearing the soap, too. And I don't even put the soap in my hands to put it on. Buzzy knows how to get it on my body there. And it's Buzzy's Essentials. It's BUZZYS. ESSENTIALS at MSN.com. And if you're one of these soap freaks who likes to put it in your mouth and try to swallow a little bit, it's fine. You can tell Buzzy you're going to do that, and he'll maybe give you a bar free of charge, or you can call me up.
Maybe you could wash out all the politicians' mouths with the soap, and it might make them better.
I can see your S&M thing is coming out here, Lori. Keep talking. We'll give you the next half hour going on here. And, of course, the genius in credit consultation. The genius and the only non-crook in this country. That's right. I'm calling all the rest of you crooks. You want to sue me? It's good. Take my laptop. It doesn't know transmission. Lori Zook at gmail.com. That's LaurieZoock at gmail.com. And you can email her right now. She's right next to that thing there, and she'll pick it up. She'll start talking to you, too. Metal fabrication. Yes, she will.
How do you pick up an email?
How do you pick up an email?
And talk.
You click, and then you talk. Same, you talk to the email. Metal fabrication. What's that?
You just email back and forth.
Yes, of course, as you talk and move your folders too. And metal fabrication for your house. There, we love the fact that you're in these new homes. I guess you bought it for about $2,000 or $300,000, whatever you did. All the numbers are fake, but we still think you're going into these homes. And contact them at frankfamousmedia@yahoo.com. Tell them what you want in the house and ask for the pricing and tell them how long it'll take, and you'll pick it up yourself. You'll go right there, pick it up. Yes, and testosterone is one heck of a scam out there into radio land and TV land. We got a couple of texts here on my Samsung phone. I saved it for the past couple of days. We got a guy by the name of Whiskey Joe who's written in. He says he thinks the testosterone scam out there is a real scam, and he calls the pills out there on the market nothing but a scam. But he's twisted in his thinking, and because this is beyond twisted here on this show, he's confused and perplexed because he sees the following going on. You go into the pharmacy or the adult entertainment places where the pills are being sold, and all the guys are talking about the pills and they're saying how wonderful they work. But you go on the internet, and each and every one of these pills are ineffective. We've done cross-reference checks on all of them. And then you talk to somebody like me. I've used these pills, too, for various reasons, and they don't do anything for my body whatsoever. In fact, they make me angry that they're not doing anything with the body. So this kid is saying he, too, has taken these pills. They have not done anything for his body. They've done nothing for my body. The scam reports say they've done nothing, but the shop owners say they do, and all these guys keep buying these pills, and the guys that you go talk to in the shops are saying it's doing something for their body. What's going on?
Well, it's not only the scam reports you should worry about, it's the ingredients.
Yeah.
I did some medical research on some of these things, and they actually can cause heart attack, stroke, all kinds of things that are really can kill you.
Stress levels that are beyond normal.
It's ridiculous.
Right. I actually had a friend who had a heart attack from taking those pills.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and you know, when you watch these commercials on TV with these medications that are approved by the FDA, and they say, and then they do all the side effects, you know, that can be harmful, or you know, give you the heart attack, give you the stroke. That's like the really fast part at the end of the commercial. I'm thinking, who in their right mind would take this? And I will tell you, I had a family member years ago who took a medication for a pill for psoriasis and ended up losing a lot of her hair. And the interesting part was the doctor didn't say anything. When she picked up the medication, nobody said anything. She went online to the company that made the medication, and you know what it said? 75% of the people who take this medication will lose hair.
75%.
75%. Now, how come the doctor, the pharmacist, didn't say anything on the little insert? You know, but when she went to the website for the drug company, it said that that 75% of people lose their hair. They take this medication. So before you take, because you know I'm a consumer advocate, before you take any medication, find out who the manufacturer is, and then go to their website and look up all the information before you stick that pill in your mouth, because you don't know what you could be taking. Exactly. And a lot of times it is poison.
Yes, and if you've taken one of these pills in your own life, studious audience people, give us a call now in the studio at 727-441-3000. Also for you 866 people, 1-866-826-1340. Text me on the cell phone here at 609-209-0194. Tell us your experience with the pill. the testosterone pill. Tell me if you think anything happened, if you think what kind of a scam do you think it is. Tell me why there's a discrepancy going on. This kid hit it on the nail. I've seen it too. I've been in these shops. I've talked to these guys. They all say all the pills work. I talked to these guys for 15, 20 minutes, a half hour. I said, okay, what did you feel? When did you start taking the pill? In regard to eating, in regard to talking to your girlfriend, getting ready for the moments. When did you take the... They all sound genuine, yet there's nothing but scam reports, and this pill didn't affect me. So if you're an audience member, tell us what you think is going on with these pills. What do you think is really going on? The discrepancy in all these areas.
Well, I know anything you take would maybe affect you differently than somebody else.
Yeah.
You know, you might get lucky.
Okay, but don't you think there's a weird coincidence going on here? I get not affected by this. All the scam reports say the same thing. But all the guys that I've talked to in the shops and the owners are saying it's all effective. So why do we have three different worlds going on here?
Yeah, well, I'm going to agree with what Judy just said. Medication affects different people differently, and I know because I happen to be a reverse reactor. So, for example, if I take a pill that's supposed to make me sleepy, in the past, if I've done that, it makes me wired and I'm wide awake, and vice versa. So I have to be very cautious with any medication I take. So unless I actually have to, I try to find a natural way to solve that problem. You know, maybe a particular food will help me, but if I can avoid the medication, I do.
Now, are you saying you get reverse in 90 or plus % of everything you take, or is it a very low percentage? Or what?
No, it's in a very high percentage, and it's got to be genetic because I have family. My mother and my aunt, same thing. You know, the same kind of problems. And I think for us, we're all very high adrenaline people. You know, our minds are just always active, always learning, don't really shut down. So I think in that way my body chemistry is different than a lot of people, because those people who know me know, you know, I can do multiple things at the same time, and I'm always going. And at night, most people just fall right to sleep, whereas I can lay in bed for an hour, and my brain is I'm still on that hamster wheel thinking, how am I going to do all this and that and put together everything, because I always have to have something going on. And so I'm a high type A, as are you guys. But a lot of people, or most people, are probably type B's and C's, where they're relaxed, or, you know, they can just chill out.
Yeah. Now, see, the thing that I get caught into the reverse side of the thinking of this is maybe the audience members do too. You say that your body goes into the reverse effect. Why doesn't your body just go neutral? What do you think is going on?
Well, for me personally, like I said, I think it's just the having too much adrenaline.
And it's working against the ingredients of the pills?
It does. You know, I don't know that I can explain it. It's the same thing, you know, with drinking wine, for example. Most people seem to, not that I won't feel relaxed, but in all honesty, I really don't feel all that good. And, you know, wine, I know a lot of wine has sulfides in it. Now, if I drink a wine without sulfides in it, I don't seem to get the same effect. So it's all those chemicals and those preservatives that are the poison.
And it's hitting your immune system and your reactory system very quick and very hard.
Yes. Exactly. I mean, antibiotics for me don't work. Painkillers for me don't work.
What do you do when you get an infection? How do you get rid of this?
Well, it depends on what kind of infection it is. I mean, if I'm just sick, I know that antibiotics generally don't work for me, so I will eat a heck of a lot of chicken soup, you know, and a lot of water and a lot of fluids, and just try and flush it out of my system. Wow. But, you know, antibiotics nowadays, they've adapted the medications. There's so many strains that ultimately the antibiotics become less and less effective. Yeah. And, you know, and then you want to go into scams. Well, here you've got the FDA, you know, saying these medications are healthy, yet people are having heart attacks and strokes, or you know, something terrible is happening to them. Why don't you look for something that's all natural? Look for a doctor that's holistic, or a chiropractor, or, you know, someone that's a nutritionist. Because if people went to nutritionists first, they might not have all of the health issues that they have. And keep in mind, most people don't exercise.
Yes.
You know, when we were kids, we played outside.
All the time.
How often do you see kids outside playing?
No, they're texting inside, playing texting. And this, I think what you're doing is you're telling the audience a good thing here. You're loading up on antioxidants to do with your soup and everything else you're doing, and so that's why your infection is coming out of your body. Telephone number in the studio, 727-441-3000, 866-826-1340. Your opinion on the scams out there, any scam that's happening to you. Are you a victim or are you a bewilderment person on this testosterone thing? It looks like it's a scam to me. Also, you go to the doctor, you get your shots. That's a bit of a scam, too, because where are they getting the testosterone from? And plus, it only can go in through your rear end to do with the muscle, can't go in through your mouth because the kidney and the liver get affected, which is very strange and weird to me. We're in the year 2013. Why can't these medical doctors get like Star Trek and get it all done? I don't know why, but it seems very weird to me. Very weird.
It does, and here's a thought. I'm not sure if this is a fact, but I would think if you're taking testosterone, doesn't that make you more aggressive?
Yeah, there's a conflict and not a conflict with guys. Cedric, do you take testosterone shots at all?
I do not.
You don't? Okay.
At least I haven't yet.
Okay, how old are you?
28.
28, okay. Your drive during the day, does it get off a little bit? Your emotional, sexual, and physical drive, does it get off a little bit during the day when you think it should be still even?
Yeah, sure, and I think it probably has a lot to do with nutrition. I think that as time goes on, I'm becoming more conscious about nutrition and eating less of the fast food and the Doritos and stuff like that. So I think a lot of that over the years, eating a lot of junk foods probably contributed to some of my health problems. Not that I have a whole slew of health problems, but I'm sure I could be in better, overall shape.
All right. Have any of your doctors recommended that you get the testosterone shot?
Not at all.
Not at all?
Not yet.
Have you thought about going in and getting a pill from one of the pharmaceuticals?
No. There was a radio show, I think it was syndicated. I think it was on this station. It might have been on some other stations talking about hormone replacement therapy. I listened to it, but it wasn't really my thing, no.
Really, yeah, because we just went through hormone replacement therapy. Talk about the scam, or maybe not a scam. We hit the product of the century, and this thing went in reverse of our bodies. And the blogging on this was like, if this isn't going to work for you, you're going to get some symptoms that are going to make you feel like you got hit by pregnancy and a flu at the same time, and that's what happened to us. And it didn't do any. I can't even grow extra hair on this stuff. I'm not going to say the product because some people are saying this thing actually worked for them. And I'm like, what happened? Did some of these ingredients bypass it? Well, what was it? Cero Vital? I think that was the product, right? They can't sue me. You can't get anything from me.
I don't remember what company it was, but the problem is that we, as well as a lot of other people, can't afford to go get all this lab work done and so forth that should be done to find out exactly what hormones you're missing or what hormones are low, so that you'll know what needs to be corrected. Otherwise, it's just a shot in the dark, and you can harm yourself more than you can help yourself sometimes.
Exactly. I mean, we're talking $300 to $3,000 per visit one of these places. Lori, have you thought about any hormonal replacement therapy for yourself?
Yeah, I actually did try it several years ago, and I really didn't notice that much of a difference. Now, I remember there are two ways women can be tested for hormones. One, I'm not sure about men, but being a woman, they can test it through your blood, but my understanding is testing it through your saliva is supposed to be the better way.
Yes.
And then they can put you on, I was on bioidentical hormones, which is supposed to be naturally formulated type of hormone. But honestly, it really didn't do much for me. I probably did it for about a year and went, okay, I don't need to take these anymore because if there's no positive effect for me, then I don't really see any point to it.
Yeah, I mean, we're starting to, we're getting, these conversations are becoming circling around each other. We're looking
scary.
At, yeah, I mean, I'm thinking maybe the scams are 70% and the real stuff is 30%.
Well, yeah, but you know what? Keep in mind that taking medication is big business.
Yes, it is.
And has to do with the insurance companies. And they don't want to, my other half is a chiropractor, and he does all natural type of chiropractic treatments. But the insurance companies don't want chiropractors. The insurance companies are trying to cut chiropractors and holistic practitioners in a lot of cases out. They only want to have medical doctors who are going to prescribe drugs. And if people were to try something that was natural, which is what happened years and years, hundreds, thousands of years ago, before we had medications like we do now, their bodies might heal if they tried something natural first. And if they lined their body up and they're symmetrical, that has a lot to do with your health, your spine, all the way down from your head to your feet. Mm-hmm. But you know what? Why do that? But people go, well, you know what? I'll just go to the doctor and he'll give me a pill.
Right.
Yeah. They want to go and they want to pay and they want to get a pill.
And they want it quick too.
They want it quick, and a pill is only a temporary mask usually for whatever their issue or their pain is, rather than maybe doing yoga or some type of I'm thinking yoga, tai chi, working out, doing some type of exercise, walking to get themselves in better shape. Why do that when you can just go to the doctor and get a pill?
Right, exactly. And about this pill thing and the testosterone, I actually took the ultimate step that no guy's ever done. The pills, none of the pills work for me. So the adult store that actually sold me the pill, the return policy was 0. But they said, you want to try taking the pill, put it back in the receipt back in the box, and mail it to the manufacturer, which happens to be part mafia. So I did that, and I sent him a little note inside. I was very nice, and I said, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer here, and don't come after my family. And you got my email and my phone number, and we'll talk about doing business together. But this pill just didn't do anything for me. Sir, Mr. Mafia, Mrs. Mafia, can I please have my $10 back? And if not, that's fine, and you can call me up and sing on my voice. I did the whole thing, and nothing came about it. We're sponsored by Buzzy's Essentials. I did it, Cedric. I did it. I'm telling you, I did it. He doesn't care about the mafia at all. Buzzy's Essentials at MSN.com. He's got the only soap that's available. You put it on your little boot there, and you kick people around. It's wonderful how it works. BUZZYSESSENTIALS at MSN.com. And the only credit consultation person in the world that's available that has any brains left in her brain. She's a genius, and it's Laurie Zook at gmail.com. LAURIZOOCK at gmail.com. And get your metal into your house now. And, and steal it off somebody else's house. Bring it to Frankie V Metal. It's really Empire Metal, and they'll fabricate it, put it in your house. FrankFamousMedia at yahoo.com.
And also we want to remind you to be able to listen to this show whenever you feel like it.
Or when you hate yourself, too, go listen to the show.
And listen to the past shows. Go to youtube.com/WTAN video.
Yes, between you and Lori, any scams that are standing out in your minds right now?
Well, I just read about a new scam for people who are 65 and older who have Medicare. It says it's a new scam that's being used many, many times recently. And it has to do with Medicare. It says seniors nationwide are reporting scam phone calls informing them that a new Medicare card is in the mail. Mm-hmm. Hang up on suspicious callers and don't fall for this attempt to obtain your personal information. This is how it works. Mm. You answer the phone, and the unknown caller, often with an accent, claims to be with Medicare or another government office. He informs you that your new Medicare card is in the mail and you will receive it in a few days. In the meantime, you need to set up your direct deposit so your Medicare funds can be deposited into your bank account. Now, that's my first question.
Red flag.
Yeah, and I got
your cash doesn't go into your account. Right. It goes to the doctor's office.
Right, but here's how it goes, and we were talking about this the other day. Now, follow this, everybody. This is confusing. This is really confusing. They call you up. They tell you they're calling from Medicare and Medicaid. And they convince you of this because it's sounding sweet over the phone. They ask you for your bank account and your routing number. Now, here's how it goes. This is complex. You give them the bank account and routing number because they've convinced you that they're going to send you the money, so you give it to the doctor. And because too many people in this country are too stupid to realize that that's not how Medicare works. They give them the checking account and the routing number. So at that point, they do two reverse things at the same time. These scam companies start actually wiring you money into your bank account. You start to feel good that, oh, this must be legit. At the same time, they take your bank account, your routing number, they go into their basement or their hovel, and they put together fake checks with your bank account number and your routing number on it. Then they put these people on the streets with the fake checks. They go into Woolworth or they go into Walmart and they start buying products with your bank account and routing number. Then the products are bought by the fake people in the stores. They take the product, they go onto auction houses, and they liquidate the products to get their scam money. At the same time, your routing number and bank account number is being used to actually buy this, whether you have enough money in your bank account or not. And because the feds and the FBI are too overwhelmed by all this all these years, they don't get caught. Now, Lori, tell me if I got, what do you think? Some of this right, totally right, wrong? What do you think?
I think you got it right, and I know someone, and the story you're describing actually fits that scenario perfectly. But I would never give my bank or routing number to anyone over the phone or on an email. I don't give money out to anyone. I don't do any electronic funds transfers other than between my own bank accounts. Because from where I sit as a credit consultant, and the stories that I hear are nightmares. And again, here in Florida, where you have a lot of senior citizens who are over 65, I think the law here is actually if you're over 60, you're considered a senior. And those are the people especially at risk. And I get calls from people saying, I got a phone call or I got an official-looking document in the mail. And it looks like it's a government document, asking me to call a number with the information. And, call me crazy, but that I will reverse Google that phone number, type it in and see what comes up. And if someone calls you asking for your routing number, why would you give that to them?
Yeah, but see, they're convincing.
Call Medicare and find out the phone number of the person that's calling, and if they don't give you the information right away, that's a red flag. But then call Medicare and find out.
Yeah, see, they're convincing people with some kind of tone over the phone and some kind of words that the government is now doing it this way, that they're actually, government wants Medicare to wire you money so you can take it out of your bank account and give it to the doctor. That they're convincing people of this somehow with words or tone or brainwashing over the phone. I find this extraordinarily amazing, especially if it's not announced in the public forum, in news clips or anything else.
Right.
And people are just believing this.
Now, con artists are slick.
Yeah, they're slick over the phone.
That's why they're good at what they do, and that's why they end up with your money.
That's right.
Protect your money.
Right.
Right, and there's even another twist on the Medicare card scam. Scammers can ask you to verify your identity in order to receive the new card. So they'll ask for your Medicaid card number, which is the same as your Social Security
number.
So they get your personal information, and then they steal your identity.
Right. Now, how this really goes. Now, watch this, boys and girls. I'm standing up. This is how it really goes. You're saying to me, Frank, okay, if I give them my Social Security number over the phone, how is it any different if they actually hire a private eye and look at my name, which they already have, and then scope out my Social Security number from a private detective? Here's how the twist is. If you're... yeah, well, go ahead. I'll tell you what I think the twist is.
Well, before you ask the twist, if I'm not mistaken, here in Florida, is it your Social Security number on your driver's license?
That's a good question. I'm going to open up my driver's license.
I think it is.
Let me check. Taking out my license right now. People look at your license. Social Security number is not on my driver's license. Where did you think it was on the driver's license?
I thought it was somehow coded within the driver's license number.
That's your birth date, I believe. Yes,
okay.
Yes. My birth date is definitely in my driver's license.
It is.
Yes.
Okay.
That's true.
I see that too right there. Now, people, this is how they turn it into a non-Fed issue. if they're talking to you over the phone and they hit you with a couple of pretty words like, oh, I'm glad you're having a nice day, or good to know you have a new granddaughter, and then suddenly you say, oh, you must be a legitimate person because you care about me. Here's my Social Security number. At that point on the recording, people, they didn't force the Social Security number out of you. So you gave it up. So
never give up your Social Security number.
Exactly. So that's why the feds are saying now we're backing off a lot of these cases. They have in the past 15, 20 years because they didn't coerce you out of your Social Security number. You gave it up. So that's the trick here and why this stuff keeps going on and on and on and on and on. And it just
Well, identity theft is huge. It's getting worse, billions of dollars. It's worse and worse. You know, restaurants are, I think, still the number one cause of identity theft. You know, they skim the cards. They have a special device, and that can be anywhere, not just in a restaurant, by the way. So you have to protect all of your information. And being a credit consultant, you should at least review your credit reports once a year, which you can do for free on annualcreditreport.com, and see what's on your reports.
Right. Now, that new website, the new company, is it a scam, Lori, or not? I think it's called creditkarma.com. They claim no fee whatsoever to check for your credit score.
Oh, the Credit Karma?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was just on that for a client a couple of days ago.
Okay.
The information is extremely limited. First off, the scores are always they're fake. They're not real FICO scores.
Are you serious?
But credit monitoring services are owned by companies, oftentimes the credit bureaus, and they use a different scoring model, so they're not real. The legitimate ones will show you all the information, or a good portion of the information in terms of the report itself. You're talking about Credit Karma, which is advertising now on TV, and it'll show you limited information, but not complete information.
Will it? How far does it go into the history of any one person?
It doesn't go that far. It's superficial.
Are they also doing any kind of a tricky scam or just a trick in having you buy newspapers, milk, get a wife, get a kid, get a family?
Well, interestingly, I won't name the company, although it's a credit repair company that seems to be advertising on Credit Karma. So I suspect that they may own a Credit Karma, but I'm not positive. But all you see is advertisements for credit repair on that particular site.
Okay, and I'm also they're using the guy with the pearly white teeth too. And that's become a redundant cliche since 1950 and 60, yet these companies are still doing. I'm starting to hate this country because we're overusing these cliches. The guy's got big teeth. I mean, I don't do my big teeth during the day, and I'm not ripping anybody off. I mean, it's just crazy. I'm watching the Adam and Eve commercial on television, and they still got the girls doing this in TV commercial. It's done. It's over with.
People want the easy way out. They want the easy solution. A lot of people don't want to be accountable. They just want to pay someone to get rid of the problem, as opposed to handling their own problems and their own issues. And you have to be responsible for your own life and accountable for your own life, whether it's something you create, a problem you created, or, happened as a result of some other situation, be it medical or divorce. You have to be accountable.
What a concept.
And because people want the easy way out, that's where the con artists come in, because they know that. So then the majority of people who want the easy way out are going to fall for those scams and say, fix it for me, or do it for me, or I'll do this for you. And then they, convince people to give up their personal information. Don't give out your personal information.
And I'm stressing this again, people. You see these girls holding up placards, and they're pointing down at the placards like they used to point at all these guys in 1930 through 50 about the erotic sexual side. It's a scam. It's not meant to make you feel happy. It's a scam. Wake up, guys. I mean, seriously, $10,000 at these people? Bring it to me. Bring it to our radio show. We'll do something with it. It's the same thing with these guys with the pearly white teeth, too, on creditkarma.com. And it's also on all the loan companies as well. I mean, pearly whites and, hey, have a nice day. I mean, it's a little bit of sweetness, but it's just a con. I don't know why you guys keep falling for it, but you do. $20,000 at these people at any given second is beyond my comprehension. But then my comprehension is $20,000 to $30,000 to $50,000, and I'm still saying, come to us for the money. That's what we want you to do. Come to us for the money, and we will take care of you big time. Lori, thank you very much, Miss Credit Consultation Person. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Judy, too.
You are very welcome.
I'm welcome, too, to be here to you, too. Be by your side, on your side, and around your side, too. And Artie Fletcher was amazing this evening tonight, talking about why baseball is so messed up, Little League and Major League, too. Well, think about it. One of the greatest catches in the history of baseball on YouTube is a fake video of a ball girl running up a wall on the left-hand side, running up 25 to 35 feet, and it was a fake video. And you're wondering why we got problems with baseball, A-Rod, and the New York Mets. All right, now, Kimo Sato!